Hello my crafty friends, I hope you are well and welcome to my craft channel, Corrine Crafts. Well, I think looking at the weather outside, it's perfectly acceptable to be crafting Christmas today. We're in July and it's certainly not Julying outside, is it? It's much more October outside, so I think we're allowed to craft for Christmas. Here's my second Christmas make. We've done a little shaker card. I've created a lovely wreath just using a new-ish stamp selection, all about sort of a pine cone one, just using the leaf one. I'm sure you've got lots of leaf stamps. You could be using any that you want. 4 different colours of ink on the leaves just to do that. Nice sentiment, matte and layer, a bit of a shaker inside, and that's the job done. This is really quick. What you need when you're mass producing for Christmas. I hope you like this. I'm going to show you how you make it. It really is very quick and very simple. This is my second crafting Christmas in July project. So the last one I did for you had that lovely big poinsettia on, so I thought I'd do something that was maybe a little bit more postal friendly. Still got a bit of dimension to it, but it's a lot more postal friendly. So I have got a piece of card and it is 5 3/4 by 7 inches. Now 5 3/4 that way, so I've marked down 5 3/4 to there and there, and then I found the center point by joining those up, and then all I did after that was I got the die that I'm going to cut and I just drew around it roughly in the center just there. So that is where I want to work to, so that's just giving me something to work to. Now the stamps I'm going to be using are these layered stamps. And they're from Sequins. It's one that I got from the sale. So basically you get this that makes the pine cone, and then you get the twigs with the berries, and then this is the extra leaf. So if you look, I don't know how close you can see. If you look just there, you can see how it layers up that you can do the pine cone. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use this one and that twig to make, to make a wreath. So I'll show you how I did it. Right, I'm going to start with, I'm going to do this slightly different to the one I prepped. So I'm going to start with the leaf. Now, what I did think I would do though is, oh, I knocked my mat, is use quick dry inks. The colours on them can be a little bit stronger. So I just thought that is what I would do. So you can see I've got a selection just around here. I've got some red one there. So in my greens, I've got 4 greens. Working with those ones, so I have got pine tree, grasshopper, spring meadow and green topaz, and I'm going to use all of those. My brown is seal brown and my red is Chinese red. So for my brown, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just touch on that one first. Oh, I tell you what I want to do is I want to just put a stamping mat underneath, just like that. It's just going to make it that little bit better. So let's put that there. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this around there. I'm just going to pop that randomly onto here. There's no rhyme nor reason to this. Just want it. So they're always coming out of that center point. And you can see I'm just picking up more ink. But what I don't want is I don't want something that's like full of symmetry. So I'm doing 5 of this. I'll probably do 8 of the leaves, so they're all different. So there's my twigs, so I'll put those on first. The next one I want to do is start to do the leaves of the wreath. So I'm actually going to use this leaf stamp. I'm not going to use the pine cones. I'm going to pop it onto here, using that marking so I can see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my palest of my greens first. So that's my spring meadow. Put that on. And I'm going to do 3 of these. So I'm going to start, just pick a point. I have to go that way. There we are. Pick a point and pop that on. I started thinking about maybe doing a 6 by 6 card, but it left it quite snug, so it didn't work how I wanted. So I'm going to go then around a third and put that one here. There we go. And then I'll do another third. So this bit is a little bit symmetry, but the rest isn't. But again, I'm coming in different angles, different lengths. There we go. And then that one on there. Okay, not changing my die. Stamp even. I'm going to get another green. We're going grasshopper this time. I'm going to put this one on, and I'm going to just put some more on. So these are going to sort of overlap a bit. And so you could do this with any foliage stamps you got. If your foliage stamps are a lot smaller, then you'll just have to do more of them, so it'll work whichever way you do them. And then we're going to come here. You could even do these at an angle. They don't have to be straight out. It's entirely up to you. You just put them on how works best for you. And I'm just using my rocker block or a stamping paddle, as I saw at Crafting Live, or your stamp block or a stamping platform. Is entirely up to you. Let's go green topaz next. There's no rhyme or reasons. Once I've done the paleys, well, I like to do the paleys one first and then I just put them in. So I'm going to come in with this one just here. I'm putting them roughly the same height, but I'm not trying to be too exact. And then you can see I've just got room for one more in there and one in there. Aren't they pretty? Really, really effective. And one in. So I just need to, I like to rock in a certain, wouldn't put my rocker block in. I've got a bigger gap here, haven't I? Don't know why. Might have to put an extra one in. We'll see how it looks. Put one there. So then my final green is pine tree, which has to be my favourite green, I think. So pop that on. And we're just going to fill up these gaps. Some of the gaps are different. Like I say, I'm trying not to be too symmetrical. Pop that one in there. Let's then go into here. And then finally, I can put one more in just down there, look. You might find it easier to turn your stamp than your paper. It's entirely up to you. There we go. And that is the start of my wreath. Doesn't that look effective? Let me just get a cloth and then I can clean my stamp off. There we go. Okay, so once we've done that, you can do it now if you want to. Let's go in and do the berries. So this is the berry stamp. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of red on. And then I just line it up. Now, I don't actually know how it's supposed to line up on here. I just seem to think that that looks reasonable. Put that one on. And then we can come in with, I don't know. I twizzle around and think, oh, would that look better? I don't know. Like that. And then it's quite nice actually to put them on at different angles as well. There. I've only ever got 1, 2 left. I think that makes a lot of difference as well, putting the berries on. But we're not finished with the berries. I'll show you why. Now these are quick dry inks, so that I can go one over the top and know that it's not going to smudge. If you're using pigment inks and even your water reactive inks, you probably have to leave it a bit. Now I've got a little bit of ink on there, which I'd rather not have done, but I have, to see if I can rub some of it off with my glue remover. Sometimes it rubs off. No, that's not going to. Okay, it'll be fine. So once we've got to there, I've now got the basis of my wreath on. So I'm going to take that smaller die that I had and I'm going to pop it back on there. I just find that having that pencil mark really helps, because once you've sort of stamped, it's hard to remember where you wanted everything. So I'm going to put my tape, trying to get most of my tape on the inside. Now, top tip, I would say, I know this is bigger than my plates, but it's fine because the cutting area is smaller than the plates. I'm not putting in my metal shim. I don't want to squash the life out of that paper. This is my topper. So I don't want to mark it any more than I have to. It's a really basic shape that I'm cutting out. It really doesn't need tons and tons and tons of pressure. It'll work perfectly. And as you can see, I've not got any marks from my plates or any creases or at all. And look, it's cut all the way through without any doubt. Okay, now you saw I had 2 circle dies, and that's because what I've done is I've taken the 2 of them together like that, take them together and then cut out a red circle, and that is going to go on there. So let's pop that on there. I'm going to use my precision glue press, I think, for this. Let's move those out of the way. We don't need that anymore, do we? Try and be a little bit tidy. Not like me, is it? You'll think you're watching somebody else's videos. Put this on here. I just thought it would be nice to do a sort of contrast. So my big poinsettia one, yep, would go in a box so it could still be posted, but it's not really the most postal friendly card. So I thought I would do one that would actually work quite nicely in the post, and still for the UK would still be thin enough to go in what we call our large letter post. I'm not sure of the dimensions in the US, so forgive me for that. Okay, so once I've got to there, we are nearly done. So the last thing I want to do for the front, well, nearly the last thing, is I'm going to bring this, and then I just had a look through for some sentiments. So I'm going to get the magnet. Oh, I do like, I know I've used the rocker block for the background, but for my sentiment, I would rather use my stamp press. So I've just found these. Again, I think they are stamps by me. I could be totally wrong, but it's got a nice Merry Christmas. So I'm just going to pop that roughly in the centre. Just feel it. There we go. So I'm going to level up the Christmas, make sure the Christmas is straight, because the rest of it is sort of like free script, and pick that up. Now I'm going to use my VersaFine, because I think it's a really lovely black. It's a really strong black. If you don't want to, it would look nice in one of the greens. If you wanted to, you could use one of the green inks. Quick dry inks are brilliant for stamping sentiments. They give you crispness, but they also dry nice and quickly so that you don't smudge. Nearly there, just a couple of little white bits. So let's put another bit on here. I saw people buying stamping presses when I was at Crafting Live at the weekend. I was so chuffed. I went up and say, I love a stamp pressure tool. Yes, I saw people buying them. So I hope you were one of those that managed to get your stamp pressure tool. Okay, so there we go. So that is the front for now. We're going to leave it there. This is nearly done. We're nearly there, and that is so important when you're doing Christmas cards, because you're going to be batch making. Okay, so I have made 2 pieces of acetate. I put some foam tape down. I'll tell you to do that. Here it is. I laid down my die, and I just made sure that my foam, because the aperture is actually the size of my smallest die, so I thought if I use my largest die, I know the aperture is going to be big enough. And then I just put some red sequins in, some clear sequins, and I wanted some sparkly ones as well. You can use your anti-static bag on that first, but I like to use that double-sided. Right, okay, I'm actually going to pull back in one that I've already done, because I've put foam tape on and everything. It's exactly the same. So we can then peel off the red liner. Go and have a look at Sticks Tube for all their red liner. You'll find plenty on there. Yeah, and you'll find your acetate on there as well, and all your foam tape. And then all I'm going to do is just put that over there. I find it easier because I'm not trying to work onto the card, dropping sequins on. I just like that. And also I like how sequins against sequins just flows better. Now the same tape I've used here because that is really important. So I'm not going to do a lot of layers. So all I want to do then is I'm going to keep it lovely and simple. I've got a card blank. This was a 10 by 7 tent fold that I've just trimmed down, and some red cuts. So it's the same red as I did that. You could actually cut the bit out of there. Now when I put that on there, red on the background to there didn't work for me. So all I've done in my scrapbook, a little bit of white, and I'm going to put that on there just to give it a white background instead of a red background, because I just thought the sequins would pop better against a white background. I'll show you the difference in a minute. Come on, glue. I think I've left my glue open. Let's just, there we are. There we go, right. Making sure you get glue to the end, right to the edges. You don't need a lot when you're using tacky glue. I could as equally be using my all-purpose glue or something like my Sticks to PVA glue, whatever works for you, or even tape if you wanted to. Right, this is a really thick card. I think it's about a 400 GSM. I just love it. I think I got it from Lime Tree Crafts, which is where I get most of mine from. Okay, let me just come back to here again. So if you can see that, you've got a dark background there. As soon as I put white in, You see how it lifts that up. So that's all I'm going to do, is just pop a little bit of glue behind here, just behind there, and then pop that into the centre. No one's going to be able to see it. It doesn't have to be the full size. It was just a piece out of my scrap box. It's not even straight, but that doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter, as long as it's behind my aperture, which it is. And then I can take my foam tape off. Right, so I'm going to take my foam tape off here, and off here, and then off there, and then finally I'm going to take my foam tape off there. Now I've got a piece of foam tape. Let me get rid of those. Try and keep tidy, Corrine. I've got a piece of foam tape there. That's so it doesn't sag. If you don't want to take the backing off there, it really, really doesn't matter, because that is just there for strength purposes. So, you know, I like to put a bit of wet glue over here. I did see like glue sticks at Crafting Live, and a lot of people use a glue stick over their foam tape. I should have got one, shouldn't I? But I'm so in the habit now of using my tacky glue. Right, so I'm going to turn that over. I do think if you wanted to, you could do red border, white matte layer, then a green matte layer would look equally as nice. There was no point going gold because there's no gold in the card, and it would look unnecessary. You wouldn't be able to see why you'd put gold in. It just would stand out. So yeah, always make sure that your layers mean something. And can you see now, look, I've got the white behind there. It just makes the sequins pop even more. If I'd only put white sequins in, I probably would have kept it red, but I haven't. Okay, nearly finished. You can see on here, all I've done on here is I've just got my Nuvo glitter drops, and then I've just added a couple to where the berries are, just like that. So I've done some more and I've let them dry. So I think that works really well. And finally, I've just got some ribbon, and I've ummed and ahed. I think it definitely wants to go there. So a bit of 3D gel, glue gel, or as I've done, if I've got another glue stick, your hot glue gun works equally as well, and it's absolutely instant. This is such a quick card, but that's what you want when you're doing Christmas crafting, because if I wanted to make 20 of these, 10 of these, I just need to know I can do it nice and quickly. There you go. How much have we used for this? Hardly anything at all. I just caught that. Let's just grab that off there. There we go. There we go. I'd forgotten I'd put more glue on. Come on, Corrine, you're making more of a mess. There we go. Get rid of that. There we are. Right. Okay. So Christmas card, Christmas in July card number 2. A lovely little shaker. There you go. I told somebody who likes to watch my channel, there you go. She inspired me to my friend who came with me to Crafting Life was saying that their friend really likes my shakers, so for them I have done a shaker behind my card, so I hope you like that. Anyway, card number 2, you could be putting more little sparkles around if you wanted to. If not, just leave it like that. Feels like a really nice strong card. So I hope you like that. As always, I will try and do some links down at the bottom to things like some acetate the card, bits and pieces, a stamping press, all the bits that you might be needing to make a card like this. Hope you like it. Card number 2. Am I going to do 3 or am I going to go back? I don't know. I haven't quite decided. Thank you for watching. And please don't forget, if you want to support my channel, my Buy Me a Coffee link is down in the description as well. So thank you very much. And until next time, enjoy your crafting. And please don't forget to show me any projects that, not just this one, but any of my projects have inspired you to make. Bye for now.